So here are examples of how to change a number that's not in scientific notation into scientific notation. So number one, 430.2. First, I move the decimal place to get a number in between 1 and 10. So in order to do that, I need to move the decimal to the left. I'm going to move it over twice to get 4.302. Now, since I moved it twice, that's going to mean that I have 4.302 times 10 to the second. And because I moved it to the left, the 2 is positive. Number two, I have 0.0025. I'm going to move the decimal point to get a number in between 1 and 10. So I need to move it 3 times to the right to get 2.5. I moved it 3 times, and I moved it to the right. So it's going to be 10 to the third, and that 3 is going to be negative because I moved it to the right. Right means negative. So my answer is 2.5 times 10 to the negative third. Number 3, 72.0. I'm going to move that decimal to the left once to get 7.20. Now, notice that I am keeping the 0. I'm keeping the 0 because it's significant. This is where significant figures comes back into play. 72.0, that 0 is significant because it's at the end of the number that has a decimal. I'm going to keep that 0 in my number, so it's not just 7.2. All right, so 72.0 becomes 7.20 as I move the decimal to the left one time. So I'm going to have 1 as my exponent, and it's going to be positive because I moved my decimal to the left. And then finishing with 1,474. I moved my decimal. There's no decimal point right there at the end, but I imagine there is, right? That's where it would go if there was a decimal point. I'm going to move it to the left 3 times to get 1.474. So I do 1.474 times 10 to the third because I had to move my decimal 3 times, and it's positive because I moved my decimal to the left. On the next slide, I have practice problems that I want you to complete. Complete those practice problems, and then on the next one, I will go over the answers. Only go to the next slide after the practice problems, after you've finished all the practice problems.